Privileged not to get employed, so I've been home all my life.
You were privileged not to get employed. I like the way she put it.
So
you were employed as a housewife, a domestic engineer.
And then I became a self-employed person. So I grew up with my children. One of the things about hope upbringing for children is, for one, the parent, as soon as you have children, come down and be a child.
True.
Grow with them. Watch movies, play with them, speak to them, and be their friend. Then you behave like a child, and then you grow. That's the only way you get to know them and get to impact them. That's number one. Number two, there are a lot of issues about getting the girl child to be doing domestic chores, separating domestic chores in the house, and the house helps issue. Because I was privileged to be home, I separated my children from anybody working for me. I had a small bakery at the back of my house. They are in the bakery. They only come to sweep and mop when it is their time, and then they go. Right from when my children were younger, from primary school, I trained them to be on their own, even though it was stressful, because I was privileged to be home. I taught them how to make their lunchbox to school.
From what age?
From 5.
Wow.
From age 5.
From age 5, they could make their own lunchbox.
From age 5. They can make their tea, they can make their bread and butter, they can choose what they want to do. So I teach them how to prepare their meals. So in the morning, you can see different type of meals, and then because there is no time in the morning, they pre-make the meals and refrigerate.
In the evening.
Then what I did was, I realized that we will be looking for socks, looking for books. So I sold 5 sets of uniforms for the whole week.
Exactly.
Bought vests, bought pants and everything. So we packaged them on Saturdays. So every morning on Monday, it takes us 20 minutes to prepare to school. You wake up, pick that bag of socks, pants, vest. Then your meal is pre-made, you pack it. Some prefer cornflakes, so they've already packaged the cornflakes and sugar and milk in the bag and water. They are just going. Apart from that, when it came to the issue of handsets, it was a hard choice, but as somebody who has been at the house and an entrepreneur, I read a lot of books, I read a lot, I Google, all that. So I realized that you can't stop them from using phones.
Not at all.
Even if you stop them from using phones at home, they will just be outside. So I called them and sat them down. I used 2 things. Number one, money, phones, and fame. What is the cost of that? Now, money, I told them, is a slave. It's not a god. So you don't do things. There are things you cannot do for money, because you are supposed to dominate money. Yes. You are not supposed to worship money. Yes. It is when you want to worship money that you do some horrible things, some weird things, just to get money. And then what of fame? After fame, so what, we've seen those that have been famous, and the way you go and see them, you don't even know them because their time has passed. So there's a cost for everything. But I told them one thing: this phone can either make you or destroy you. It depends on how you use it. So, but I told them that you can use the phone to improve yourself in areas that you are not even taught in school. Do your homework, do your research, and all that stuff. So I have 3 boys and a girl. So the 3 boys use their phones to learn different things. My first child used it to learn how to fix cars. All the episodes of Top Gear, he has watched them. Yeah. Every issue about cars, their engines, everything they study. So because my first son did that, he influenced the others. Then my daughter took to cooking because I was into baking and catering. So from the internet, from the phone, she became a caterer. She started cooking. She does yogurt. She does a lot of things, and then she also does fashion. She learned how to sew and all that. So then my boys learned how to even fix their cars. I remember my first child, he had his first car. The engine had a problem, and the mechanic around us said, "We have to bring down the engine." He said, "No." When I read in the internet, they said there's one fuse that we have to change. He said, "No, see this small boy see this small boy that we are picking to go to school." And I said, "No." So he kept the car for 1 month until he got an engineer that understood what he wanted, and they fixed the engine, and the engine is working.
My car has issues.
How old is your youngest?
My youngest is now 20.
Oh,
my youngest is now 20.
Earlier.
Yes, my youngest is now 20. And my eldest is 26.
My car needs fixing.
Okay, he can do it for you. So, in essence, and I had one lady that came to my house one Christmas. She saw my son frying his chicken, cooking. She said, "In your house, boys cook." I said, I have a girl and I have 3 boys.
Exactly.
So if boys don't cook in this house, how do you want me and my daughter to cope?
Yeah, just 2.
And I told her that the problem with us parents is that we want other people's daughters to serve our children, and then we want other people's sons to honor our daughters, but have we trained ours to do the same?
That's a good one.
That's number one. Number two, when she saw me, I said, see, I'm training my son to help his wife.
Exactly.
I'm training my son to be a partner in marriage and to honor his wife and to respect and assist her in domestic chores. I'm not training my son to be a god where you go and sit down, come on, what they have to bring for you. We've passed that era. The era of a man being the sole breadwinner in the house has passed. So it's an era whereby we have to combine our incomes to balance up and then to bring up our children at home. So you cannot expect the woman to go to work with you, wake up and then come back from work with you. You will not sit down and then expect her to go and start cooking. You either buy food outside, order food, or you know what to do. So I told her that I'm training my boys to be good husbands. She said, in her house, her husband has warned her boys. They don't cook, they don't enter kitchen. It's her daughter that serves them, that they are training her to learn how to serve men. Now the issue is, in the 21st century, is the girl's child role serving men?
No.
Is that her only role? Is that the role that we are bringing up our daughters to do? Yes. People will tell us, like you said, some men want the homemade girls. The problem is that some of the parents go too far. Yes, you are training your daughter to be self-reliant, economically independent, but you also teach her the values. Religious values, cultural values about marriage, what a girl is supposed to do, what a girl is expected. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be a slave. And then if only men will realize the capacity women have, they will unleash it. Unleash the capacity of a woman, unleash the capacity of a girl child, and honestly you will sit down and be happy ever after.
Exactly.
Most of those men that change their women, that cripple them because they don't want them to be better than them or to have more economical, they end up becoming frustrated old men, because the children will grow up and realize what the father has been doing to suppress the mother. They will take her away. He will be a lonely old man in the house.